With us now to discuss the campaign is the American comedian who's based in the UK, Erich McElroy. Thanks so much for joining us. So,
no problem.
Here you are with us. I've got to ask you, tell us a joke about the American presidential election.
There's so many to start with. I think, the thing is, part of the reason people ask me all the time about what's the problem with Hillary, and I think one of the things she failed to do, and I'm a supporter, was to give herself a narrative of why she should be elected. So like Trump was, America, make America great again, which no one knows what it means, but it was a bit. And her main slogan was, I'm with her. I mean, that just sounds like you've given up, like you've had to go to prom with your mom. So there you go. There's a little bit of a joke. It's always tricky without the full audience, but yeah.
How do you feel about the race? Because I've heard quite a few Americans saying they're actually kind of embarrassed. It's been such a negative campaign, so vicious, the insults so horrible.
Yeah,
Not a great advert for democracy in a way.
No, I mean, that's one of the things that, when I voted in the UK for I think it's MEP ballots here, you vote for the party and not for the candidate. And the first time I saw that kind of blew my mind, because I'm like, I want to choose the person. Yeah. I need to see, their character, their dress sense, what kind of shoes they wear. That's what matters. And, because I was always worried that maybe in the office, they're just sending the person to Brussels who they like the least. Anyway, that's why Nigel Farage keeps getting sent over. But that struck me as strange. But maybe that's the way, because these two characters are so flawed that people have had to take a step back and think, well, do I support the democratic values of Hillary, or do I support well, we don't know what the democratic values of Trump are. So, and I think that's maybe what they have to do to make the decision.
We're known in this country for laughing at ourselves. Are Americans finding any of this funny?
I think people are pretty depressed. I've read articles about people feeling depressed and embarrassed, and that's part of the reason why this has happened. This is a change election in the US, just like I think we saw with Brexit here, and people are looking for something different, and they're angry about the establishment, and Hillary Clinton is about as establishment as you can get. I think she's been running for president for about 100 years now. So, I mean, and she saw off, Bernie Sanders as a change candidate, because he wasn't a Democrat. He was trying to kind of take over the Democratic Party. He was very much an independent. So.
And you're disappointed Bernie Sanders isn't in the running now, because you do an impression of him.
He's the only one I can. Well, because my wife is also originally from New York, where he's from. Okay. So every time I heard him speak, it'd be like, "What are you doing to my daughter?" And I couldn't have that as president of the United States.
But Trump and Clinton are such colourful characters, aren't they? I mean, they are mesmerising in a way. And the first woman potentially in the White House. Trump, an extraordinary character, just in his own right. I mean, whatever you think of him, you kind of listen to what he says, don't you?
Well, I mean, that's going to be the big question, is whether he wins or not, is how did he do this? And I think one of the things he did incredibly effectively was he played the U.S. media, not the British media, because you're, of course, too savvy here, but the U.S. media, because he would go on television and say, well, some people are saying President Obama is a member of ISIS. Now, I don't know who's saying that. I'm not saying that, but some people are saying that. I would never say that. And I'm like, dude, you just said that. And that's all the media would talk about for a week. And he would grab it, and he got, I think, $1 billion worth of free coverage through the campaign, something no one else has ever done. So he definitely played the game incredibly well, and that's what got him here.
What have been the most memorable moments of the campaign for you?
I don't know. My jaw fell down so many times it started to drag along the floor. the moments that stood out in a way aren't necessarily the comedic ones. It's when he said he would ban a whole group of people based on their religion. That was shocking to me. I mean, because that's a fundamental starting point of American, accepting people based on religious persecution. I mean, generally they were being persecuted by British people, but that was a long time ago. We've forgiven that. And then also when he said he wouldn't support the winner. I mean, that goes to the core of a functioning democracy when you say you won't. And that's something that, every other loser in a presidential race has always done. Even Al Gore, even though he had more popular votes because of our fantastic democratic system in America, he still stepped down, even though he had more people vote for him, but the system didn't work that way, and he graciously stepped aside. So.
And it's been such an incredible campaign when you think about not just these two very colourful characters, but the release of the sex tape of Donald Trump, then the FBI saying they're investigating Hillary, then now saying they're not investigating, or she's in the clear now, and all just so many ups and downs and twists and turns.
Well, I mean, as much as I love this, I guess it's kind of like your team being in the World Cup or something. You love it, you love watching it, but you just want it to be over. It needs to end.
It will be soon.
Yeah, I know. Well, hopefully, I think we'll have a result. Hopefully.
What do you think that result will be?
I mean, I think that the fundamentals still support Hillary, unless people are just there's blatant lying across the United States, which is incredibly diverse to the polls and all the forecasters. I think that it's hers to lose. But I didn't think Trump would be the nominee, so I don't want to make any predictions. So.
And it's a different system, which is worth saying again and again with the Electoral College. It's not the popular vote.
That's right, yeah.
And so Hillary has a kind of inbuilt advantage in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, she should win the bigger states. So it's kind of like a gigantic tug of war, and she's already got the biggest kids on her side. And then it's the little states in between that drag the rest of the country screaming over that line. And that's where she should still win. Again, unless there's this mysterious groundswell that no one has really identified yet that Trump says is there. But that's what some people told him.
And if there were a President Trump, what would you think of that?
I would be scared. I mean, people say, oh, it won't be that bad. But he does have some power to do some things that, like the president has the power to release any individual's tax return. President Obama, because Trump famously didn't release his taxes, the first president not to do so in a generation, more than a generation. And the president actually has the power to do that. You could see someone as vindictive as him saying, all right, these women that have accused me of things, I'll show you their tax returns, show you what they're like. And that kind of power in the hands of somebody who's that fickle, who can be riled up by a tweet or somebody impersonating him on Saturday Night Live, that's scary.
Maybe even you.
Yeah.
Better be
not
careful.
Bernie Sanders. Not Bernie Sanders.
You're going to have to brush up on that
I'm
impression
gonna have to work on
either way.
Yeah, I'll get there in the end.
Erich McElroy, been great to talk to you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.